morning, guys. I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to start our study of solving systems of equations algebraically. Today we're going to focus on substitution. There's two different types. You can either substitute or you can eliminate. We're going to focus on substitution today, and later in this week we'll do some elimination. Okay, so basically what substitution means is, by definition, substitute, you replace. So that is actually what we're going to do. We're going to take one equation and replace it into the other equation. And what I mean by that is I've got two examples to show you. And this is going to help us to figure out what the x value is and the y value is. Same kind of idea when we were graphing, but this is just solving it on paper instead of solving it on a graph. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at my two equations. Now the easiest one to pick is the equation that has one isolated variable. In this instance, the second equation has the x isolated. So what I'm going to do is, wherever I see an x in that first equation, I'm going to replace with the 3y. So what this is going to look like is you're going to have, I'm going to rewrite it, okay, and then the second line I'm going to replace the x with a 3y. So I will have 1y plus 3y equals 20. And then I'm going to solve. Now that I have one variable in the equation, I'm going to solve it. 1y plus 3y is 4y. We're going to divide by 4, and y is going to equal 5. So now that I know that y equals 5, now I'm going to take that information and I'm going to plug that number into the y of one of the equations. And it doesn't matter which equation you pick. I always tend to pick the ones that are going to be easier for me or simpler to solve. So for me, it's going to be the x equals 3y. So x equals 3y, and then I'm going to replace the y with a 5. Okay, and simplify. X is going to equal 15. Okay? Okay, after you have found the two variables, or the two values of the variables, you have to check. You've got to check both equations to make sure that those solutions fit into the equations, or that work in the equations. So my first check is going to be the first equation. And I'm going to replace not only the y, but also the x. So we're going to do 1 times 5 plus 15 equals 20. 1 plus 5 is, or what, excuse me, 1 times 5 is 5. Plus 15 equals 20, and 20 equals 20. So I can check that. I know that the answer, the x and the y value, work for the first equation. And then I'm going to do the second check, and that's going to be with the second equation, and I'm going to replace both of these. 15 equals 3 times 5, and 15 equals 15, and that also checks as well. So the last but not least, the one thing that we do have to do is we do have to state the point that is the solution. So we are going to, off to the side, remember x goes first, it's x comma y, so 15 comma 5, and I'm just going to box that in. So at the end of the day, you will need five things, okay? You're going to solve for the y, solve for the x, and those can be interchanged in order. It's whatever one is easiest to solve first. So you've got to solve for the x, solve for the y, check the first, check the second, and identify the answer. Okay? So all algebraic solutions for systems need 5 pieces. All right. So we're going to go ahead and let's take a look. I've got one more for you. okay? So taking a look at this, we have 4x plus y equals 39 and y equals x plus 9. So for us, the easiest that we're going to, substitute is going to be this second equation. The second equation already has the variable isolated, so we're going to take the y value, so this whole thing right here, and we are going to plug it in where we see the y. Okay, so I'm going to take my first equation, 4x plus y equals 39, and then I'm going to rewrite it with the x plus 9 replacing the y. Okay, we've got 4x plus x plus 9 equals 39. Now, I want to make sure that you guys recognize that if there is a number, so we know that instead of just y, it's really 1y. If there was a 1 in here, or whatever coefficient was in front of it, it would also have to be here, and then we would distribute. Okay, so this would be distributed, that would be distributed. So when we rewrite this, 4x, and I'm going to practice distributing, 1 times x is 1x, and 1 times 9 is 9. And then I'm going to combine. So 4x plus 1x, 5x plus 9 is 39. And we're going to go ahead and solve. We're going to subtract 9 from both sides, drop down the 5x, and we're going to get 30. After here, divide by 5. X is going to get you 6. Whoops, let's make that a little more like a 6. Okay, so that's going to be your first step. Then you're now going to take this x and plug it into one of the equations. For me, the second one is the easier one. And that's not always the case that you plug it in the second to the first. It just so happened that that was the case for today. And I'm going to replace, and now y equals 6 plus 9 is 15. So now that I have my x and my y, I am going to now check. So I'm going to do the first check, and that's going to be with the first equation. Make sure it's always the original equation. 4 times 6 plus 15 equals 39. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 15, 39. 24 plus 15, 39 equals 39. So that one checked. And now we're going to go on to the second equation, or the second check. We're going to rewrite it and then replace. So this is 15 equals 6 plus 9. 15 equals 15. Last but not least, we do have to label our answer. So guys, remember it's y over x, so that would be 6 comma 15. Make sure you've got parentheses around it, and I always just like to box it in so that I know that that is it. All right guys, so here are 2 examples. I will have a blank copy of this as well as this sheet up on Schoology, and you've got a couple of check-in questions. I believe I posted 3. You are also going to have an activity later this week with some substitutions. So I might actually put that up so that you guys have it on Monday all the way through the week. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'm available all day Monday. Let me know when you need me. Bye.